this video that's so compelling is that you can see how he gets down on the ground, the victim,
Right.
and is at one point seemingly begging for his life, and this point where the gun is held to his head.
Right, the defendant's standing right over him, and right to the left there, you can see with the shotgun with the pistol grip, that is Richard Thornton, and that's what he testified to, Vinny, that basically, as he described, the defendant put the gun up to his head, asking him where the safe was. He didn't tell where the safe was. He first fired one shot into the floor, and then somewhere between the picture we see here and down towards the end of the couch is where he was shot twice, as we heard from both Thornton, and then we heard the testimony of the medical examiner, once in each leg, Vinny.
And Joanna, what's so compelling about this video and why it's so significant, this guy here who's in the doorway ends up testifying, and he's now has a video surveillance tape that corroborates what he testifies to, because so many times when you have a co-defendant turn state's evidence, their credibility can be thrown out the window because you have to believe them. But here you can take a look at the video and see if it matches up with his testimony, and it does.
It does. And what I'm surprised at in looking at this video is that we have been always talking about the state level, and looking at this video just on its face, we potentially have, under federal law, it's called a RICO Act violation, where you have people organized like a criminal enterprise, like a business.
Absolutely.
And they come in with all different people, and you have 2 acts that have to occur. And we have breaking, entering into a home. We have felonies that are occurring all over the place. And that didn't happen, where you have someone who's the center, the alleged masterminds, and the spokes all around who may not know what each other's doing or may.
Right.
And they carry out what they all are alleged to have been doing. So see the center, we have a center
And that's
person.
the center. I just circled the center of this whole situation.
I love
That's it.
this. This is almost like my signs. You get a red pen right on the screen. This is awesome.
Unbelievable.
And now we make spokes. So we have a federal RICO Act violation here criminally, as well as it could be applied civilly. And none of this I have not heard about, but on its face, you can look at it
Let's take a look at
this
the
way.
other video, which is also very compelling, of the young girl in her bedroom. And Mike, as we take a look at that video, to me, that's very chilling also, because you can see the reality of the situation, the impact on this young girl. And here she is. You can see that she's sleeping in bed. And here's the car that's pulling up outside.
Right.
And she gets up to see what's happening there. And it looks like she almost goes back to hide under the covers. But as you continue to look out the window, again, the testimony of the co-defendant is corroborated by the fact of what he saw, where he was, and when he went to the car.
Right, and at one point he pointed himself out going back to that red van, Vinny, saying that was the time that he went back to get that duffel bag with the zip ties in it, and that's when he heard 3 shots, and then he came back inside, went back up to the bedroom, and saw Bird Billings face down on the bedroom floor, and Melanie Billings, still alive, over by the closet.
And this is the part of the vehicle where you can see the co-defendant eventually go. And again, he's there at the point when the gunshots are fired. And again, you've got a videotape corroborating the testimony of one of these co-defendants. And the co-defendants, I can't say this enough. Most of the time in the court, they come in and they tell their version of the story, and it's like, well, do we believe him? Do we not believe him? Okay,
Right.
you know, why should I believe this guy? He's just trying to save himself. But here, the testimony is corroborated by videotape evidence, and that is something that bolsters their credibility in this case, Mike.
It really does. Down to, there he is right there. Down to, Vinny, the kind of weapons that they were holding and are readily identifiable in the videos in the living room. He said he had a shotgun. The other guy who had a shotgun was nowhere in the camera range, but then you had Rakim, who had an AK-47 type weapon, which is actually a MAC 90, but it just totally matches up to his story, and it is believable. And there you see the shotgun that I was just speaking about on the top left-hand side.
Yeah.
Which, if you're looking at all this even goes even more so if I'm talking on defense side. You have a video like this that's entered into evidence. How do you not? Nobody on the defense side is saying anything. Nobody's saying anything on one way or the other of, be it that wasn't me. That was X, Y, or Z. Like you have people shooting. Yes, you do see that. And the thing that sticks in a juror's mind, did they just see a little girl hide under her covers and pretend not to be there?
Right.
If you're a juror and this juror's packed, with women, and you're sitting there and you see a little girl pretend she's not there, the parents are there, you're going to want someone to suffer. And you have nobody up there saying, you want to know something? Shootings occurred, but I wasn't the shooter. I might have been there, maybe, if they have DNA evidence proving that he in fact was there.
Right.
But that he wasn't the one that did the shooting.
And the testimony, testimony also, Vinny, of Thornton talking about the only person that had a 9mm handgun, both on the 4th of July and at the time of the incident. We see right there in the middle of the screen, 9mm handgun. Who is that? The defendant. And what did we hear today from Paul Dragan from the ATF? All 10 rounds fired in that house came from a 9mm handgun.
All right, let's.
Yeah, but where are the fingerprints? And then
No fingerprints. They don't have fingerprints. They don't have DNA. So that's we're going to hear about that during closing arguments, I'm sure.
But no.
Hey,
but
let's go. We got to do
evidence.
this, Joanna. We got to take a look now at Patrick Gonzalez Jr.'s police interview, and here he talks about how he met the victim in this case, Bird Billings. There he is, trashing the victim in the case during his police interview. I don't know what he expected to get out of that. It seems to me, again, this is this guy trying to smooth talk his way out of every situation, Mike.
It really does. And he talked bad about Bird Billings.
It was absolutely crucial to the defense. And
That's right.
And it wasn't as thorough as I thought it was going to be. I didn't see the main attack was, well, you're not an honest guy, right?
I see a theme here. And the theme that I see is that I don't see things done completely as I think that they potentially should have been, where the defense is not asking the full, as Mr. Brooks. I do agree with Mr. Brooks. Again, now we got number 2. It
That's
happened
twice.
twice
I'm
in one
keeping
day.
track.
Wow.
I know. Do you have lines down? Are you marking them off?
I'm marking them
Okay,
off.
you got it, Mr. Brooks. Number 2 again. Defense isn't completely cross-examining. Not only did we not put, and when I say we, I mean as defense attorney, did not put any witnesses or anybody for the defense. They don't even fully do the proper cross-examination to put any reasonable seed. All we need is a seed, a reasonable doubt, because the burden is on the prosecution.
Absolutely.
It is not occurring. This man is not getting a full defense, and in all fairness,
I think
if
they've
he's
got
not, if
something
he's
up
not
their
wrapped too
sleeve.
tight, how would he know
I think
the
the defense
difference?
has something up their sleeve that we're going to see in closing arguments in about 15 minutes or so. Bird and Melanie Billings died inside their home on the Florida Panhandle, victims of gunshot wounds. Just days later, Patrick Gonzalez Jr. was in a police station answering questions. We're bringing you his taped police interview next. Live in the courtroom tomorrow for more of the Gonzalez capital murder trial and possibly a verdict. You can keep watching closing arguments live online. Just go to CNN.com/live. I'm Vinny Politan. This is In Session, your front row seat to justice.